All right, so I wanted to talk about something that's been pissing me off recently, which is basically what all these videos are. I follow the baseball team, the Pittsburgh Pirates. You know, I've followed them since I was a kid, and I'm sure if you know anything about baseball, you know the Pirates have been pretty bad for a while. They're like consistently one of the worst teams in the league, but the last few years the team has gotten better because they've drafted well. They drafted Paul Skeens. They drafted Connor Griffin. You know, they've developed their players pretty well. And so this year they actually have like a somewhat good team. Like they're a game over 500 right now. They're 2 games out of the playoffs. And I go on Twitter, which I shouldn't do because it's probably fucking very bad for my mental health. But there's so many people I see on Twitter that follow the team, and these people piss me off to no end, where it's just there is so much negativity around this team. Like there's just many people that like they lost a series to the Diamondbacks today, which is pretty bad because the Diamondbacks are ahead of them in the standings and they have the last wild card spot. And it's like, but if they would have won one game in that series, or the Diamondbacks took 2 of 3 from us. But there's one game on, I think it was Tuesday, that was really close, where they came back and they almost won it in extra innings. And if they would have won that game, they would be tied right now for the second wild card spot, which means, you know, they would be in the playoffs if the season ended today. There's so many people that are on Twitter today that are just fucking babies, and they're like, the season's over. The season's over. They're done. They need to sell at the deadline. Like, and I don't know why these people, like, they do this every time. Every time the team loses, they're like, oh, the season's over. You know, they need to fire the GM, fire the coach. Like, and I just don't understand that mindset of, like, being so fucking negative and just crying like a fucking baby every time that the team loses. And then when they win, these are the same guys that are like, oh, you know, good win. You know, like they don't have anything to say when the team wins, but when they lose, it's just like a circle jerk of fucking misery and anger and like just incel fucking rage over a baseball game. And it is really annoying, and it makes it very hard to actually follow the team because nobody actually, like, they don't really discuss like baseball or like the games or anything like that, or like, oh, this is what they need to do. Everybody's just like, oh, you know, they're fucking done, fuck this team. And they're a game over 500. They're 2 games out of the playoffs. There's 53 games left. If Arizona loses the next 2 games and we win the next 2 games, we are in a playoff spot. But there's so many people that they're unbearable. And I don't know if it's just because, like, this team has been bad for so long that it's just, like, created this negative aura of misery around the team. But it's so much better than, the product this year has been so much better than what we've gotten the last couple of years that, like, if they miss the playoffs by, like, a game or 2, I really don't, like, I'd be upset, but it really wouldn't bother me because it's, like, the foundation is there. Like, they have Connor Griffin, they have Paul Skeens, they have Jared Jones, they have a bunch of guys coming up through the minor league system. They have Seth Hernandez, they have Edward Florentino, they have Murph Gray. They have so many, like, good prospects that it really just, I don't know why these people are just, like, it's just because, like, it gets views, it gets attention online, and it gets these people what they want, which is people to, like, pay attention to them. But it's not even, like, entertaining. It's not even, like, funny ranting. Like, you know, obviously Frank the Tank is a Mets fan that loses his mind every time they lose, but these people aren't even entertaining. They're just fucking miserable. And I saw one guy on Twitter, he writes for Rum Bunter, and somebody, because he was doing that too, he was being like, oh, the season's over, they're gonna fucking lose, they're gonna, You know, they're not going to trade for anybody at the deadline. They're going to lose 8 in a row, which I don't know, man. I try to be like a generally positive person to where, and I have that negative thinking fucking mindset too, but I have to try to like force myself to be positive. And baseball is a game where I know I was going something with the writer for Rum Bunter, but I want to talk about something like baseball is a game where it's a 162 game season. The season is not over if you lose a series. And every team that they've played, like there was a guy on there who was like, the Pirates are 5-6 since the All-Star break. Every team that they've played is in the playoffs. The Guardians are in the playoffs. They're in a playoff spot. I think they're in first place in the Central. The Yankees are in a playoff spot. I forget the Cubs are in a playoff spot. They're a good team. Diamondbacks are in the playoffs. They're a good team. And another thing, they should have won that game against the Cubs because Ian Happ didn't fucking touch the plate. And also, they could have very easily won the game on Tuesday. It was in extra innings, and they just lost. Like, things happen. When you play good teams, you're going to lose close games. Like, it's part of the fucking... That's what happens when you play good teams. Sometimes you lose. They're not losing to, like, the freaking Reds or the Mets or, like, the Rockies. Like, if that was the case, then, yeah, it would be, like... It would be DEFCON 2, but... I can't believe these people, man. There was a guy that's, like... He was, like... You know, circling back to that, he was like... Oh, this fucking team sucks. Like, they're not gonna do anything. And somebody called him out for it. It's like, why are you so negative all the time? He's like, oh, I'm just mentally preparing myself for the worst case scenario. It's like, do that on your own. Do that on your own. Why are you posting it on social media and trying to, like, drag other people down with you? You bum. Like, if you want to think that, go ahead. Like, I would prefer to talk to people that are, like, positive about the team. Because this has been a really good year for them. And, like, I want the team to win. Everybody wants the team to win. But there's so many people that it's like, they don't know how to take a loss. I seriously think that, like, a lot of them just didn't play, like, team sports when they were younger. They don't know how to fucking lose. Sometimes you just lose. It's nobody's fault. Like, you're playing tough teams. You're playing tough competition. Like, it is what it is. You know, like, sometimes you just lose. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. Like, they have a good team this year. They need to address certain things at the deadline. I think they need to get somebody that can hit left-handed pitching because Marcell Ozuna just isn't cutting it. They need to get a reliever or maybe even 2 relievers in all honesty. But, I mean, other than that, man, like, what do they really want them to do? Like, I see all these people that, like, they hate Don Kelly. Anytime Don Kelly, like, he took out Bubba Chandler against the Yankees, which is, like, kind of a controversial decision, but because Bubba Chandler was pitching well, he brought in a lefty, Brandon Eisert, to face 2 straight left-handed pitchers, one of whom, Bellinger, fucking rocked Bubba Chandler earlier in the game. So it was a move that kind of made sense, and it just didn't work out. Like, I think there's so many people in this fan base that, like, they think they know more than the manager. The manager does something and it doesn't work out, and they're like, oh, I was so stupid. But if it would have worked out, they would have said nothing. You would have said nothing. If Brandon Eisert would have got out of that inning, you wouldn't have said anything. You would have been like, oh, that was a dumb move by Don Kelly. They only criticize the manager and the team when the team loses. Like, because you can make a dumb decision like that and still win the game. You can make an ill-advised decision and it just works out. But I seriously think there's so many people in this fucking fan base. They think they know more than Don Kelly. They think they know more than Ben Cherington, which is like, those guys aren't infallible. Like, they definitely do make mistakes, but, buddy, like, why don't you fucking coach a team? Why don't you fucking go and, like, be the general manager of an MLB team? Like, and I keep in mind, like, I think you're allowed to criticize anyone. You're allowed to criticize Bob Nutting. You're allowed to criticize Ben Cherington. You're allowed to criticize Don Kelly. But, like, explain why. Like, explain why you think it was a dumb decision. Don't just be like, oh, it was fucking stupid. Like, yeah, you think it was stupid because it didn't work. But, like, why didn't it work? Why do you think it was a bad decision? And, like, break it down, honestly. Could you be like, oh, well, you know, Bubba Chandler's actually not that bad when he goes through the order 3 times, you know, and his velocity didn't dip, and he was actually, you know, still executing his pitches. That's why it's a dumb decision to take him out of the game. But they don't do that. They're just like, oh, well, this guy came in and gave up 2 runs, so it was a dumb decision. But if he would have got out of it, you wouldn't have said shit. You would have been quiet. You would have said nothing. You would have sat down and shut your mouth. Shut your mouth, you mad fool. Shut your mouth. But anyways, that's it. I'm getting so sick of this fan base. I'm getting so sick of them. Seriously. I'm sick of you fools. I'm sick of you crying. Tired of making y'all cry. Alright, that's really it. It's the end of the rant. What do you guys think? Are you guys Pirates fans? Are you not? What do you think of the team? Are you also a negative fucker that cries every time we lose and talks about the team? We should move the team to fucking, like, Nashville because they lost a series to a team that's in the playoffs? And they should fire the manager. They should fire the general manager. Everybody should, like... I seriously think if you do that, you're just a bitch. Like, personally, like, you are a bitch. That is woman behavior. That is, like, overreaction to any type of adversity in life. I just think it makes you, like, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of seeing these people that have these, like, insane overreactions to everything. Like, it's just, like, it's woman behavior. And I don't even hate women. But, like, that's what women do. Like, something fucking happens, they're like, ah, ah! Like, that's you. You are a bitch. All right, that's about it. That's all I got to say.